Well, how's it going, everybody? It's Sunday, about 9:10. I was out doing a little filming, and I ducked into the patio here at O'Shea's to get a bite to eat. About 15 minutes later, it just opened up. There was no sign of rain 30 minutes ago. In fact, I think my windows were open. It was a nice, warm day, and it just comes out of nowhere. It wasn't even in the forecast, but that's Bangkok. Small trade-off to live in such a great city. And I'm keeping nice and dry on the patio. I wasn't planning on having any beers tonight, just a little dinner and a soda water. But I don't know, I'm not heading anywhere till this lightens up. The good thing is it normally moves in and moves out. 30 minutes, 45. The Celtic Football Club's having a meeting up on the second floor. I can hear some yelling and screaming. I'm guessing there was a goal. All right, I'm hearing some cheers now. My buddy is normally up there, but I know he drove up to Isan today. And it's always an ongoing conversation about cost of living here in Bangkok, and a lot of folks, when they're thinking about coming to Southeast Asia, travel is at the top of the list. Well, travel costs cash. I am taking Boone to, where are we going? We're going to Osaka to head up to the ski resort about an hour outside of town. First week of December, I just booked it today. I did pretty good. Now, you're gonna have to decide. I'm fine with taking AirAsia the 6 hours to Japan. Crossing an ocean, even heading from here to, say, Australia, that's a different subject, but I can suck it up. For 6 hours in economy on AirAsia, it's pretty darn reasonable. I looked at Sapporo, Japan, but it was crazy. The one nonstop was $700. I think round trip. I don't know. That's a lot of money. I got about $130 each to Osaka and $80 coming home with the picking the seats and grabbing a small meal and all. It's a little bit more. And then the hotel, I usually try to find a decent hotel that's on sale. And so this hotel was one of those 4-star, regular price, $297, and I believe I got it for $112 a night. So that's $350. So airfare for two and hotel, we're a little under $800 before we even got there. So for some folks that have said, I don't understand how you're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, it's all about travel. I mean, less than a month ago, we were in Singapore, and here in 6 weeks or so, we're going to, 6 weeks after Singapore, we'll be in Osaka, and I'm sure I'll be somewhere else before the year's end. It's just how it goes. You're going to have to decide how many trips you're going to want to take and where you're going to want to go. And then if you're going to insist on flying Thai Airways or Singapore Airways, it's not going to be what I paid. It's going to. I think the Thai Airways flight to Osaka was, I can't remember, $425 to $550 round trip, where I spent $225, $250. Oh, sounds like somebody scored again upstairs. So yeah, there you go. And that is not a terribly expensive place to travel. I guess if you come over here and the only trips you take are to Chiang Mai on a Tuesday and come back on a Thursday, even on weekends, the Koh Samui can get pretty darn expensive. Most folks know Bangkok Airways has the exclusive rights, and they own the airport there in Koh Samui. I know a Scoop flight was attempting to fly in from Phuket, but I think that's not happening anymore. I'm not sure. But if I were to book Koh Samui in the next 3 or 4 days, $400 round trip would not be unheard of from Bangkok. There's just no really easy way to fly direct to Koh Samui. Now you can fly to Sirotani and then take the ferry, but it's I can't remember the last time I was on that ferry. A little over an hour on a speedboat, and 2 hours and 15, 20 minutes, something like that on the regular boat. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. Plus, when you fly into Serottani, you still need to get down to the pier area, and that's not close. And oftentimes you have to spend the night. So sometimes it's just worth paying the extra and flying straight into Koh Samui. Plus, the other problem is you have to fly out of Suvarnabhumi. And I do everything I can. This AirAsia, sure, it's AirAsia, but I don't really have a problem with AirAsia. You know what you're getting. Just play by the rules, and if you want to double up on your carry-on of 7 kilogram, you can for a small fee. You can get 15, but I don't know. I stuff my little bag there, and it's about 7-8 kilogram, and it's never been a problem. If you're carrying everything you own on some 40-liter backpack, you're probably going to be pulled over to the side, and they're going to weigh that, and you're going to get all upset that they're now charging you whatever the cost is, $70, $80, $100 to take that last-minute check-in bag. I don't think they're going to allow a big, huge backpack to go carry on yet. Some people attempt to do it every time I'm in line. And in my little budget video, and maybe I'll link a description down there, I kind of hate doing those videos because I know you're going to get all the comments on, you know, you're crazy, I live on $1,100 a month, when I'm saying $3,500 is kind of my bare minimum, and oftentimes it goes $4,500 if I'm heading to Singapore or Tokyo or someplace like that. Now we're going to Seoul. It's not as expensive as Singapore, but it's sure not as cheap as heading up to Hua Hin. So there you go. If you are having some travel dreams in your retirement plan, just put it down on the budget. Me personally, I kind of pencil in $1,000 a month for myself and my girlfriend. Again, you don't have to take a girlfriend, but I enjoy traveling with my girlfriend, and that comes at a little bit of an extra cost. I'm still going to have one flight and hotels, and I'm kind of done with staying in $20 hotels. I mean, there weren't any $20 hotels in Seoul. There were some $80 places that looked a little sketchy, and they may or may not have been quote-unquote love hotels, or you pay the $115, and oh, by the way, if you want breakfast, that's $30 a person. Bourne and I aren't huge breakfast people to begin with, so we're reasonable. If it's $10 a person, yeah, we'll pay it and just go down and probably just have some eggs and some juice and that kind of thing, maybe some soup. But for $30 a person, we'll take a pass, and we'll just head into town, and we're staying in the really nice area, the touristy area. Oh, I forget exactly what it's called with an M. Is it Myeongdong? I forget. I've been there years and years ago. But there are just hundreds of places to eat right around the hotel. And I'm sure for $60 for breakfast for two, we'll have no problem doing way better with probably a better meal. It's starting to come down again. I thought it was ending there. So I try to keep it real on those budget estimates and all. Again, I'm pretty much $2,500 just for daily living, doing what I want to do, where I want to go. Here in Bangkok, I'm not on a very strict budget at all, but I do factor in about $1,000 a month for travel. And if it's a $500 trip 1 month, a small trip, well, in the next 2 months, it could be a trip to Australia or Japan, and that's not going to be $1,000. Not if you take two people, that is for sure. So I'll leave that up to you. I know not everybody is going to take a large trip every month, but many of my friends over here, they're kind of on the same pace as me. Maybe I'm a little ahead of the curve every month, every 6 weeks, but most of my friends, every 2 months, maybe every 3 months, they're heading somewhere. If it's Bali or Korea or Vietnam. Now that's going to be about as cheap as you can go, Vietnam and Cambodia. Even then, though, I mean, a couple $100 round trip airfare. If you're taking a girlfriend, that's now $400. Where are you going to stay? If you're staying for a week, I don't know, even at a budget place on a week, $250 for the week, and that's pretty budgety. And then, of course, you're eating out all your meals and all. So these aren't going to be $100 trips. So just keep it real on those figures and plan accordingly. come on over and have a great time. It's nothing like the expenses of living in California, and head, let's go over to Vegas. And oh, by the way, if we're going on a weekend, those same hotel rooms that are about $150 a night during the week are now $350 or $450 a night, plus $15, $16, $17 beers. It's nothing like that, but it's not going to be a giveaway. All right, for no rain in the forecast, this is getting out of hand. There's about a 2-inch puddle right there. There's a little bit of a dip in the road, but this rainstorm is no joke. And I did check the forecast for what it's worth. So you should always have to be prepared. I have my end of rain season flip-flops on and my umbrella in the backpack, but I'm not going to deal with walking through this mess. I have nowhere to go, so I'll just sit here and put the headphones on, watch a few YouTube videos, and wait for it to lighten up. I could call a car, but again, I'm in no hurry to go home. I kind of enjoy kicking back on the patio, watching the rain pour down. And here comes some different fans making a run for it. He's got his, oh, I was going to say that's Celtic gear, but no, that's black and white. Yeah, I don't know who the Celtics are playing, but it's like a green and white jersey. And I sure have a lot of respect for these street vendors, rain or shine. They're out doing their job, and the different workers are still running out from the businesses and getting their soups and different meals. So we're just taking a little 3-day trip over to Seoul and heading up to the ski resort there, the one, I think it's about an hour and a half outside of Seoul. I know they have buses, shuttle buses that pick you up from some of the main train stations. Bone's never seen the snow. She thinks she might have seen some slush up at Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai somewhere, but she's never been in super snow, although the first week of December, I don't know how thick it's going to be. It might be more man-made snow, but better than nothing. And we're going to go up and do the inner tubes. I'm talking her into taking a ski lesson. Not that I'm any great skier. In fact, I'm terrible. I've snowboarded, I don't know, a half dozen times, maybe 10 times skiing, if that, over my lifetime. And I can't remember the last time I was on the slopes. It's probably been at least 10 years. So I told her, I'll take a lesson with you. Let's go up and do the bunny slope and just have a little fun or break out the snowboard. She said she just wants to go see the snow. And then I said, I'm not going all the way up there just to look at it for an hour. You know, we're going up, and in her words, we're going to play in the snow. So she agreed. So it ought to be a good time, but that's not going to be free either. I don't know. I'm going to just guess that the lift tickets are going to be $75, $80, and then rental equipment and a lesson. I don't know, a couple $100. So all this is going to add up, and if I can slip out of Seoul with airfare, hotel, lift tickets, meals for $2,000, that's going to be a win. But it's totally worth it to me. I've been lucky. I don't know. I stopped counting all the countries I visited at 80, and I have to be way over 100 at this point. I stopped counting a long time ago. I got rain dripping on me now. Move my backpack out of the way. But for me, it's just a lot of fun to take my girlfriend Boone to many of these places she's never seen, and she just loves it. She doesn't really ask for anything, and she's not big into other like material things. Oh, if I bring her a nice purse back from Ross or Marshalls in the U.S. that costs $80, and it's a $300 or $400 purse here in Bangkok, that's a prized possession of hers. But for the most part, she's super happy with really just taking some trips once in a while, and that's it as far as our extra expenses. And it's kind of on me taking trips. Every month is kind of pushing it. Lately I've been doing that, but call it every 3 months taking kind of a large trip. That's a little bit more reasonable. I just have the travel bug, and if she has time off, if it's holidays, she works at the bank, so bank holidays and then mix in a day or two of vacation in the weekend, yeah, we can do these 3 and 4 day getaways, no problem. Now, every now and then she jumps back on the plane and heads home. She has a little Chihuahua. Her sister is very helpful in taking care of. She loves that dog, but it's not really fair for her sister to be watching the dog for 4, 5, 6 days at a time. Maybe if we headed off a very long distance, we would ask her to do that and take care of her, make sure her and her boyfriend are having some nice meals while we're gone. But these little 3 and 4 day trips, sometimes even a 2-day trip, we see a lot of things. And if I want to hang out, like when we flew into Tokyo, we were there 3 days. Boone had to fly back, take a little day of rest, and then start her busy work week. I just stayed in Japan, and I think I stayed 10 days. Took the bullet train around and flew back from Osaka, so that's fine too. Man, that rain is really coming down. So it is what it is. I am not big into telling other folks how to spend their money, but I don't know. If I put out a video saying, hey, my budget's $3,500 a month, it seems I'll get 1 or 2 comments. One, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Your breakdown is good. Your health insurance, your travel expenses, going out 3, 4 times a week, if that's what you want to do, and that's what I want to do. Many of the folks I meet moving over, they're not moving over to just hang out in their condo and go out twice a month. They want to experience what the city has to offer. That's not all about drinking and partying, but just traveling around different restaurants, perhaps hanging out with a partner, and that's going to come at a bit of an expense. Our pensions and Western savings is oftentimes going to be way more than a lot of the average Thai salaries. Even a person that's with their college degree and all, they're just not making a ton of money. So it is what it is. You can say whatever you'd like to, or think about it however you want, but for the most part, if you come over and you're hanging out with a Thai partner, it's going to be on us. I'll call it 90% of the time to be purchasing 2 plane tickets and 2 meals and 2 ski packages and all. Yeah, my girlfriend Boone, she's reasonable and she's taken some trips and all, but for the most part, she sure wouldn't be taking a trip every 6 weeks to ski resorts and running around Universal Studios in Singapore. That's my thing, and I'm okay with that. I've budgeted my whole life, saved my whole life, worked overtime my whole life, and now I'm here having a great time, and that's just a part of my retirement. And if I'm lucky enough that she's hanging out with me, that's great. But if other people want to ride solo, I 100% understand that. I wasn't in a big hurry to get in a relationship. I was over here, what was it, a little under a year and a half before I kind of got in a serious relationship with my girlfriend. And yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine being single, but I'm not staying single just to save some money. If that's how you want to look at it. I'm more about relationships. When they come along, they come along. It's not a real factor in my budgeting. But if you are thinking about coming over and trying to find somebody to hang out with as fast as possible, yeah, just put that down in the budget if you're going to want to do more than, just hang out at the local pub once a month. And I know there's a lot of discussion with the TDAC, the Thailand Digital Arrival Card. Many countries have that. I know we just went into Singapore. They have it. It's just 3 days before you travel. You basically fill out, hey, are you coughing on people, on and on, where are you staying, that kind of thing. So it's just not that big a deal if it's here in Thailand or anywhere else you're going to go. I know I did it in Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan. And I just did it now for Seoul. Now they have something called the KETA, which I'm from the US, and it says I do not have to do it until after December 31st, 2025. Thais, it switched, I think, a year ago. So I went ahead and did it for Boone while we were sitting there together. It was pretty extensive. It was way more tricky than the TDAC. You had to upload the passport page, upload a photo with a white background, put the hotel you're staying, answer probably 20 questions. And it was just kind of a clunky website. Every time you would say put the hotel address and you'd hit submit, it started over for some reason. I don't know, it probably took me 45 minutes to fill out this form. And then when I did submit it, I had to pay $7.50 US. And it said, okay, you'll receive your answer in 72 hours. Now, the good news is, and I don't have it memorized, I think it said once you fill out that KETA, I think you're good for 3 years. It's not like a multi-entry visa. It's just the KETA is good for that period of time. And maybe it was 2 years. I don't have it memorized. It certainly wasn't every trip. So you fill it out, and then different countries have different visa exempt stays. And I don't know what it is for the US. I think it was 90 days, and I'm not sure for Thailand. Again, I'm just spitballing this, but it was a 2-step process. And then I have to double check if I still have to do some kind of a customs arrival thing similar to the TDAC. I'm sure I do. Many countries are going in that direction. For different folks online that are really complaining about, can you believe Thailand is doing this and whatnot? I'm heading to Cambodia or some country that doesn't do it. Well, I don't know. I'm going to expect every country is going to do it at some point. They all have customs and immigration, and that's all this form basically is. You're just kind of filling those forms out online and not having to have a big conversation. You just have a QR code. You walk up, they look at you, they look at your passport, they look at the QR code, and on you go. I think that's a good thing. And so much for my 45-minute thinking. We are a little over an hour, and it's still raining cats and dogs. So if you're on a more limited budget or pension, I'm not saying Thailand isn't the place for you. It absolutely is. You're just going to be doing more Thailand trips or Vietnam trips. Vietnam, it's still going to cost some money, but it's a giveaway compared to Tokyo and Singapore. But if you're going to want to explore everywhere, you're going to have to make some cutbacks in other areas. Again, if you're on a tighter budget. Myself, that's a part of my budget. That's been a part of my life forever. So it's no big surprise to me at age 30, or today I'm age 59, that it's going to cost me some money to travel around. Being over here in Southeast Asia, for me, it's more a time thing. Sure, it's still 6 hours or a little over 6 to jump on a plane and head from Bangkok to Japan, but that's way better than an 11.5-hour flight from Los Angeles or San Diego. Man, I think it's coming down even harder. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, so that's my thing with travel. I mean, who knows? Who knows when I'm going to check out? And I don't need the fanciest casket. Just take me down to the monks. They'll take care of me in no time. And in the meantime, if I want to take a trip to the Maldives or scuba diving in Indonesia, that's what I'm going to do. I think it's called the Neptune Society in California, where somebody just comes and picks you up in a minivan, and it's a super affordable cremation, and it is what it is. I just want an email sent out to all my buddies, and everybody raise a pint to me, and yeah, we're done there. But no different if I'm over here in Thailand. I told Boone, I got to put all this down in paper and maybe do a little bit of homework. If I'm hit by a tuk-tuk and laid out tomorrow, don't waste a lot of money on all that foolishness. Just donate any part anybody can use, and take me to the local crematorium at the Wat, and that's that. I've had a great life up to this point, and if I checked out tomorrow, I'm good. Now, other people have asked me about the miles and points. I did different videos. Ooh, it's coming down. I did different videos on earning miles and points. It's a little bit more difficult here in Thailand. I don't even have a card right now. I might get a Capital One soon, and I'll have to put whatever that is, 3,000 or 4,000 on that card. And yeah, that's just not so difficult to do these days. I wish I would have just put all this airfare and hotels I just spent today. That was whatever it was, $800 on a card that I had to make a minimum spend. But they've asked me, why don't you use miles to travel from here to Japan, or in this case Korea? And I'm just not going to waste miles on some of these short flights I can do on a budget carrier for 200, 250 round trip. I save those miles for crossing oceans and just 10-hour trips in business class, not getting a couple of free economy tickets. I'll just pay cash for those. Now, I'd love to treat Boone to a business class trip someday. Right now, yeah, I just barely have the miles for 2 round trips to, say, Australia or something like that. So maybe one day. But in the meantime, we'll take a half dozen trips in economy, and that's fine with both of us. Boone would even think that's a waste of money. And if I told her, would you like to take 1 round trip in this beautiful business class or 3 round trips in economy, I absolutely know what her answer would be, and it wouldn't be the business class. And there goes the 7-Eleven $1 rain poncho. Now, as far as visa exemption and hanging out with a Thai partner, there are several places where a Thai, I believe China, they can roll in 30 days visa exempt, where as a U.S. citizen, I clearly have to get a visa. Can't remember if it was Indonesia. I think it was Bali, where Boone just walked in and I had to do a visa on arrival, which is a pain because there are 20 people in 2 little booths to get that visa on arrival. Maybe you can do the visa ahead of time, but I've always just the VOE at the airport. Maybe I should look into that. I think Vietnam, I know we went to Phuoc, the island, and it's kind of a unique situation where nobody needs a visa, just visa exempt. I think Thais get visa exempt in Saigon or Hanoi, just Da Nang, just regular part of Vietnam, where a U.S. person needs a visa. And it's kind of a pain to get those visas for Vietnam. I did it twice, 2-3 times, and I've been shot down 2 out of the 3 times. Just, I don't know what. I do the visa a second time exactly how I did it the first, and then I'm approved 3 days later. Maybe I was only disapproved once. They certainly didn't give the whatever it was, $21 fee back. And I kind of just risk it on the travel insurance. I did all non-refundable airfare and hotel. If some kind of, I don't know, tragedy comes up, I'm sitting here with a broken leg or whatever, well, I'm just going to suck it up, because to put all the different insurance, I guess, on there, it's kind of expensive. I for the first time, I did not pay for seats, because these longer, I always pay for seats, just Boone and I sitting next together. I looked at the seat map and it was wide open, and you're able to check in for many of these discount airlines 27 days ahead of time, and that is this week. So I'll check in, and if it, for whatever reason, does not put us together or it puts us in 2 middle seats, it's a big A330. So it's 2 seats, 4 seats, 2 seats. And if for some reason it sticks us in 2 middle seats, well then I'm sure they'll be glad to take, it was $26 each person, each leg, to pick a seat. So there you go, over $100 to pick the seats on a $220 airfare. Nah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and risk it this time. And again, Boone was fine with that. She was even fine with, hey, who cares if, you know, we sit in 2 different seats, big deal. Let's not waste $100. That's $100 of our street food meals when we get to Korea. So all the money's going to get spent, and that's fine, either during seat selection or, hey, let's get that special meal here in Seoul that we didn't waste on seats. We are going on an hour and a half here, and I'm still hearing thunder in the background, so I don't know where this storm came from, but no problem. I'm just hanging out, doing a little people watching and enjoying this beautiful Bangkok evening. I like the rain if I don't have to be out working in it. I was a mailman forever, so rain was problematic keeping the mail dry. But luckily I was a mailman in San Diego, so that was about a 15-day-a-year problem. Speaking of miles and points, I will say the AirAsia miles, not so great. I don't know how many AirAsia flights I've had in the past year. A lot. That's 10, 12 round trips, maybe more. And I think I have a whole 1,600 points, which gets you nothing. And I even got an email the other day, hey, your AirAsia points are going to expire, or some of them, here in the next month. And I've never heard of that. In the U.S., if you're an American or United, as long as you keep earning points, I think they stay alive for at least 24 months, maybe 36 months. I know the pandemic changed a lot of that, and they didn't put any restrictions on it at all. It was basically earn some points on, say, whatever, January 1st, 2020, and if you don't fly until 2023, those points are still alive. But then when you do fly again 3 years later, it starts the clock over again, and you get a new 3 years on all the points. So I don't know what's going on with these AirAsia points, but I'm not too worried about it. I just save so much money using them, even paying for a meal, which might be $5. Again, I didn't pick a seat this time. Normally picking a seat is nothing, $7 or $12, but it was $26 each way. I guess it's based more on the length of the flight. So yeah. I wasn't gonna waste money on that. I'm not sure why he's got his hood open. Oh, that's yours. Thank you. Yeah, probably a good idea to close that in the rain. No, I did ask Boone. She is booking tickets at her work often for all the airlines: AirAsia, Thailand, all the more discount airlines, and Thai Airways. I think I mentioned flying Thai Airways or Korean Air. They were all pretty darn expensive. I think Asiana, it's not really worth it. When I can do, I did 2 one-ways, but the 2 one-ways, still less than $500, maybe $450 for the 2 of us. And it was more like $525 for 1 person, round trip on the more legacy airlines. Not worth it to me. Not for a 6-hour flight. Maybe it's worth it for a 6-hour flight, but for me to kind of save those miles in case I need emergency trips home and just suck it up and pay for 2 or 3 trips on economy airlines. You have NOK, Scoot, which is, most of these airlines are affiliated with major airlines. Scoot's Singapore's little sister. Zip Air, I believe, is Japan Airlines. There's one associated with ANA. I'm forgetting the name, but there's all these smaller airlines that are still part of the legacy carriers, so they do things right. What a mess. And once again, the Queen Mother, Queen Sirkit, passed away at age 93. All the Thai people loved her. Boone even put a, let's see if you can see it here, a black ribbon on my backpack. Fair enough, I'll show my respect. So we haven't had a storm like this in a long time. What a disaster. I'm lucky I got a Bolt car for, I think it was 150 baht. No chance of getting a taxi in this kind of mess, or if you do, he's going to insist on 300 baht for what should be a 120 baht ride, and fair enough, supply and demand. But here you go. I think this guy's bike stalled. There's a lot of talk around Thailand about getting a condo where it doesn't flood. Well, I don't know how much it rained this evening, but there is no place in town that's not full right now. Oh, geez, it's coming over the curb. Yeah, there's just going to be no avoiding flooding. No, you can see right here, it's nice and dry walking into my condo, but you still have to deal with all this to get to the room. So there you go. Even if you have a nice dry condo area, are you going to stay home 24/7? So don't really worry about it. Just keep some shower shoes, rubber shoes, whatever you'd like in your backpack, and just get out there and do it. So thank you so much for following along this busy, rainy night. These people are taking it nice and slow. You don't want to lose the brakes. You might be going a little too cautious. Not a great time to be sitting on the back of a bike. But they're still getting it done. Oh, the waves are coming over. So you take it easy. We will catch you very, very soon from Bangkok, Thailand. My favorite rainy season city in the world. I was going to say rainy season. Yeah, quite a mess. And I didn't even see rain in the forecast, so there you go. Have a great night. We'll catch you soon.